Welcome back, folks, to Kingsport 1851, Part 3, Episode 2. I can't believe we got this far. I am your extremely stressed out host, Mistress of Ceremonies, Kat. We have a truncated but still awesome cast with a returning member that we're always glad to have back at the table. But first, let me start with my partner in crime, the co-creator of this series at this point, Serafina.
Hello. I'm Serafina, she, her. I am playing Captain Charlotte Goodwin, also she, her. A totally non-Ahabian captain en route to certain destruction at the hands of an angry god, or maybe just killing some whales. Should be fine.
Some sort of horrific vengeance is involved, no matter what.
It's gonna go great.
Yeah. Are we at Peak Ahab yet?
I think this is the episode where we get Peak Ahab.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just let me know if you need to get struck by lightning. I'll try and oblige. Next up is Leandro, who is playing our, what are you? You're the mercenary, Eva Morgan.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Andrew. Use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Eva Morgan using the mercenary playbook, which means militarily she is the best in those terms in the ship, and that she knows how to shoot a revolver. Therefore, she's kind of in charge of discipline as the bosun's mate. She's quite soft-spoken, but deliberate in her speech. For some reason, I wrote down here, she has perpetually narrowed eyes as if the world merited nothing but suspicion. So she's a lovely person to talk to. Also, she's the outcast. She hides some of this horrible sin and involves abandoning her family to the Irish famine. She's a delight.
Oh, I mean, everybody's got their... No, I'm not seeing a good side on this one. No. And finally, very happy to welcome back Eli, who is playing Carlito Avila.
Yeah, so I'm Eli. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns equally. I'm playing Carlito, also uses he, him pronouns. Brazilian sailor, strider. Didn't know how to kill whales before, but pretty good at sealing. And now actually pretty good at whaling too. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about him. Last time I was playing, he got very badly injured because there was a giant sea creature that we came across, and yeah, so we'll have to figure out what's been going on with me for the past little while.
Indeed, we will. Lots of stuff seems to have happened. Ships have been burning. Yeah. Sacrifices have been made to old gods. It's just another fun day for a bunch of Kingsport natives. So we got a couple of things that we're going to have to do for you, Carlito. We're going to need to maybe get some bonds and your special bond with your lover, who we're going to interpret in a more liberal fashion today.
Yeah, maybe not a romantic love per se, but someone just like maybe deep friendship or something along those lines. I actually think it's going to be Captain Goodwin because, she's on a crash course. It seems like a good idea.
I like the idea of people starting to put their hands out to try and stop her.
Yeah. Because as we established...
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Because we established before that we once spent a night like nearly freezing to death, and I feel like as we've played before, we just had like a good connection, very good friends. So yeah,
totes.
Yeah,
totes. I'm totally down.
I'm into it. Cool. All right. I don't know if we want to do any of the other bonds, maybe.
Yeah,
you're on the wait list for next week, huh?
Yep, it would seem so.
All right, well then, yeah. If we lose Serafina, then I guess we should probably bind you to the rest of the crew.
Yeah. Okay, so Leandra's playing Eva.
Yeah, it's Eva.
Okay. Yeah. And you are mercenary, outcast. So I had used some of these bonds on other characters, some don't exist anymore. So some of my options are: once racked up a debt and left me to pay the bill. I've used in the past with Captain Goodwin, spent a questionable night huddled together during a storm. Or once hunted a giant seal together. I never lose my way, but when I do, this person is the only person I look to for guidance. I'm not sure.
It's worth pointing out too that we've been like tweaking some of them to make it a little more. So like I for example took one last week that is Enoch owes me for giving them a job, even though people thought they were a Jonah instead of like being in jail.
So, gotcha.
Yeah.
Did we maybe work together before on a previous ship, Ava?
Yeah, I think Ava gets around a lot in different ships. So I was thinking like whatever relationship we had was probably quite professional. I don't know, for strictly friends, but
yeah. So I'll give you the one of
giant seal.
You and the giant seal, but it'll just be some other job. We were on the same vessel together.
Yeah.
Having a hard time changing it, but
just write the bonds in the boxes
in the notes
above. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, up in there.
Okay.
I finally figured out how that was supposed to work.
Yeah.
Okay. Other folks, feel free to, add a bond of your choosing with Carlito. We're not. I think if you got one bond with everybody, Carlito, that's probably good enough. We'll leave the rest for when we play with Scott and if we play with Scott and Jim.
Yeah, I forget what my bond with you was before, because I think I took it off because you weren't in this round.
Oh, it was the jail one, but
jail sentence one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal one off of Ava's list. If this makes sense for you. Which is reminds you of your child and you want them to be safe, but not necessarily that, but like reminds you of your brother or something like that.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Why? What happened to Charlotte's brother?
So Carlito's brother what happened? So I was jealous of him, and I went on a bender one night and came across an old witch and basically told her how jealous I was of my brother and I wish he was dead, or I wish that I had his life. And then the next day he was dead, and I was actually a lot more competent then. So basically it was like I stole his luck.
Wow.
And then meanwhile,
me
being all sisterly to you.
Yeah.
I need to watch part 1. Jesus Christ. my ideas of what's going on in this ship were miles wrong, apparently.
Yeah. It didn't happen necessarily during gameplay, but it was like flashbacks that would come up. So yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Well, Leandro, I may run the voyage of the Calypso at some point, and feel free to hop on that one. Cool. All right, sounds like we've got everything. Okay, folks, you know what I like to talk about? I like to talk about your safety because it's important to me. And I know I just came across really nerd-marky right there, but it is actually super important to me. So in this game, we like to use the X card. We're online, so you can make a gesture like, or you can just say X card or type X card in the chat window. Those are all fine. I encourage people to use the chat window to communicate at all times if they need to. You can get my attention that way. What else? We use lines and veils. Lines are things that we're going to not have in the game at all. Veils are things that we can have in the game, but we're not going to show on screen. And I should remember, I always manage to forget this. The X card means that we're going to stop, go back to someplace before the content, and we'll figure out a way to go forward from there. And it is not necessary, nor is it even supposed to happen that you tell anything, you explain why. It's totally fine to just hit the X card. For lines in this game, we have sexual violence, romantic coercion, torture of animals, historically accurate racism, killing children. We've left grandparents on there. Nobody told me to take it off, so I left it on there for now. And veils is my old familiar sex because the internet is for porn. So
yeah.
If anybody needs to add anything to that, you can speak up now. We can also revisit this whenever we need to. Cool. Okay. So it seems to me that when we left off, the ship was in the hands of a mad god and or captain. And you were sailing on a bearing that would lead you to nowhere. So, it seems to me, Captain, that we should probably decide an important thing. Are you going to sail by Easter Island, Pitcairn Island, or neither?
I think it's important that we stop. I think Pitcairn Island.
Cool. It's not much of a thing, you know. It's just a little rock in the middle of the ocean.
Easter Island isn't much of a thing either, though, is it?
No, it's quite small. They're both tiny little specks of land in the middle of nothing.
Yeah. I feel like Pitcairn Island has a little bit more of like a capital R reputation at this point.
This is fantastic. I endorse this theory.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, but first, yeah. So how you doing, Captain Charlotte? How's things? You okay? How you feeling?
Yeah.
You want to rap?
I do want to rap, including hand gestures. No, I think she's actually feeling very sure. I think that the way that this session opens is, nothing but flat sea around the Tethys, and her standing on the quarterdeck, sipping coffee and looking like at ease in a way that she maybe hasn't in a while. Like she knows where she's going.
Cool. So I think we should maybe focus a little bit on Carlito. So you got badly hurt trying to go around Cape Horn, and yet you've stayed with the crew.
Yeah.
Now, just to have something to put down, I put you in as the fourth harpooner, but are you in fact still a harpooner, or have you given that up?
Good question. I think I'd still be a harpooner.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, since the captain rarely takes her own boat out now, I imagine you're probably the captain's harpooner.
Cool.
That's cool. So hey, why don't we do it? So Captain, why don't you lower with your boats anymore? Or do you do it and it's just not all the time?
Oh.
I think I do it. It's just not all the time.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that she likes to like be able to stand back and see what the crew does without her there, but she also can never resist the urge to get into the midst of it and like really do the work because she's that kind of person.
So why don't we open with you in lowered and you chasing after a pod of spermaceti?
Sounds great.
Okay, so what was unusual about this pod of spermaceti, Ava?
What is what?
What was unusual? I think that's for Ava. Let's get Ava in first.
What's unusual? Though it depends on what's usual, because I'm not particularly sure what is usual of a pot of sperm whales.
Well, were there any maybe omens before?
I think when you kind of get near the sperms, you can see their. I don't know if you can actually see the actual sperm whales, but I can imagine you can see like their veins kind of bulging. With this what looks like black ichor.
Okay. That'll do it. That'll do it. Why don't we let's ask the captain. Same question.
Did we ever decide what time of year it is?
By now, if you guys left in the spring, it's probably sometime in the late fall.
Okay. So around this time is around when I could be wrong, but I think it's around when whales mate because they give birth in the spring. And there are no, as far as I can tell, it looks like this is an entire pod of males. Like there's no smaller females.
And what's wrong with that, I ask you?
I mean,
we're all cool. Rainbow whales here.
Yeah, go off by yourselves.
And finally, Carlito, what unusual thing happens when you finally make your first cast at a whale?
Oh, that's gonna be creepy. But in the whale song, it sounds like a human voice, or yeah, it calls my name.
Just your name, huh?
Yep.
That seems a good place to zoom in. What do you do? So I picture you you're kneeled up at the front of the boat with the harpoon raised, and the whale goes, Carlito!
Yeah. I'm probably gonna. There's a move for spookiness, I think.
Yeah, that's it's
Sense what's beyond.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay. So. And color. Six plus. It's my spooky. Oh, it's a 7. Sweet. So.
Cool. Fragments and mysteries. Yeah, I turned my camera off. That was fun. So exactly what were you hoping to find out?
Like, what is this whale, or like, yeah, what makes this whale capable of speaking my name?
Okay. Well, there was a legend among some of the people who lived, more in the bush back where you're from, that sometimes, the souls of people get trapped in animals, and they are drawn to the people they knew in their lives. So it's entirely possible that this whale has the imprisoned soul of perhaps your brother.
Oh God. Horrifying.
Oh, kill it. Kill it.
So I've already harpooned it.
No, yeah, I think you can be like you've got the harpoon raised up to throw.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna not do it. I can't do it.
Charlotte, what's your reaction to that?
Which we're on the same boat, right?
Yep.
So do you just raise your arm and then lower it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm standing on the opposite end of the boat from you, right? So like you're up at the front and I'm standing towards the back. And I shout out, Carlito, man, what's wrong with you?
And not that one. I can't kill that one. You didn't hear that?
Did I hear that? Did I hear anything?
That would seem to me that you would be either sensing what's beyond or reading a sitch. Actually, no, it's not reading a sitch. I'm gonna let you decide. Did you hear it?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay.
I think she says, I heard it bellow, but hear what?
Nothing. It's a sense I have. I don't think that one's a good choice. I promise on the next one I won't falter.
And she like sort of eyes you up and down and says, "You'd better not."
Promise, Captain.
Next one's got your mom's voice.
No, I think you guys have to return empty-handed to the Tethys.
Womp, womp.
I think we all like climb onto the deck, and I sort of raise myself to my full height, which is about as tall as a man. She's a tall lady. And I snap my fingers in the direction of Carlito as all of the men start to set to putting things away. And I say, quarter deck, and then walk off.
All right.
Hey, you're the bosun's mate there, Ava. You may need to hear some of this.
Yeah. Actually, I think at this time, yeah. Am I even allowed to the quarter deck while this is happening, or?
Not without invitation, but you could certainly get closer to listen.
Yeah, you could certainly like stand at the edge, or ask for an invitation once we're up there.
I think I'll stand at the edge. I think this is kind of like where my preferred spot is. I'm not gonna impute on the captain. I'm not gonna impute on the captain's space unless you say so.
Yeah. And this might be this is, I think, the first time that you've ever seen her react like this, because when they get up onto the quarter deck, she turns around, she like whips around to look at you and says,
"Yeah.
Do I look as though I am a barmaid?"
No.
Blacksmith?
No, Captain.
Do I seem to you as though I have some other occupation than the one that you just elucidated?
No, Captain.
So what is my job?
To run the ship.
What is the ship's job?
To catch whales.
And what is your job?
To harpoon the whales.
That all seems very clear cut. So would you care to explain to me, Carlito, why it is that I have no whale on my ship?
We've seen some very strange things out here, right? Captain.
Sea is a strange place.
It spoke my name.
What?
It spoke my name. And back home, there's a superstition that when someone dies, sometimes they get trapped inside an animal.
Well, I'm in a strange predicament now, my friend. Because of your hometown superstition, I now have a harpooner who doesn't do his job. And I have a crew full of people who all depend on each other to do their jobs. So how would you suggest I handle this?
And Carlito just looks sad. He looks sad, like he's disappointed you, and he knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't know, Captain. I guess however you see fit.
And she's been standing like 5 or 6 feet away from you, like verbally dressing you down loud enough for the rest of the crew to hear. And now she steps very close to you and says, "You put me in a precarious position."
I'm sorry. I really am.
The crew already has questions about my leadership, and then you... I understand why you did what you did, but if there is no punishment, there is no order.
I understand.
Ava.
Captain.
Handle it. And she walks off the quarterdeck.
Mr. Veal, come with me.
And she's like clearly distraught to the two of you, but the rest of the crew, like as soon as she steps off the quarterdeck, she's steel.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess I'll follow Ava.
Yeah, I think I'm taking you down to somewhere more private, so it's not in front of the entire crew.
Okay.
Mr. Veal, your punishment's simple. Some docked rations for the next week, and your percentage of the pay that will come from this haul is deducted from your overall wages by the end of this journey. And then as you're kind of walking down the ship, you kind of end up like a secluded spot. Mm-hmm. And she just whirls at you and is like, all this talk about whales saying your name.
Mm-hmm.
You swear to it?
It's what I heard. Whether it's true, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the sea's getting to me. But
if it were to happen again, this time, would your harpoon go out?
Yes, I would not hesitate like I did. I would follow through.
You better damn sure you follow through. In case you're unaware, Mr. Veal, this crew is at a boiling point. The last thing we need is the crew questioning the captain's abilities. I'm sure you've heard what they're saying about her witch, cavorting with the fae, all sorts of nonsense. There's already been a near mutiny in the past couple of days, and I would hate for it to have to come to arms. That clear, Mr. Veal? No more screw-ups, or
yeah,
just join a lot of people down into the briny deep.
I understand.
Good. Yeah, just gonna leave you here. And for some reason, I'm thinking some sort of like place where just store blubber. It stinks. Just gonna leave you there.
Yep, that's fine. Some sort of larder or something. Yeah.
That's some inspired leadership there, Ava. Cool. So Ava, what do you want to do now?
I want to check on the bosun, who apparently last session was possessed and is now terribly sick. I want to check on him.
Okay. So yeah, you go down to Bill's quarters, and he's just lying there, and it's like, oh, Ava, thank goodness.
Hope you're feeling better there, Mr. Walker. I think I brought some food as well.
I feel fine. I suffered a little from some vertigo at first, but now I feel very well indeed. I don't understand why everyone is looking at me as if I'm some sort of invalid.
From what I heard, it was more than just vertigo. Seemed
Well,
like you were...
I mean, after my fit, I suffered some vertigo, but other than that, I seem to have had no ill effect, except, of course, for the fit.
Did you take anything? Did anything happen? Did anyone come across you? It seemed to me like it was no mere fit, and I'm worried.
I smoked a pipe before I went to bed. I remember turning in, and then I remember being on the quarterdeck and everyone staring at me.
I think I gotta put the food down. And I am going to try to sense what's beyond here, even though my beyond is beyond terrible.
That's fine. That's how good things happen.
Yeah, this is Ava going like, sure. Oh, there we go. Yeah, good. Yeah, here we take it away, Kat. Take it away.
5?
That's a 4 actually, because I have -1.
Okay. So yeah, you're giving him a hard look, and maybe you've got a look of real distrust on your face, and finally Bill just snaps at you like, well, are you here to tell me if I'm ready to go back on duty or what? Because somebody's got to get up there, and soon, to make sure this ship doesn't fall apart.
Well, you're the boss, Mr. Walker. I'm not here. Technically, I shouldn't be telling you what to do.
That's right. That's right, Miss Morgan, and you remember that.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Yeah. This is fine. Don't worry. Everything is fine.
You start saying that, and I know things won't be fine.
I have to say it because you guys kept saying it for me, and that was no fun. All right. Yeah, so Cap, what's going on over the next couple of days with you?
She's probably not eating creamsicles and feeling good about herself. I think over the next couple of days, she seems more stressed and anxious because like she's going to where she's supposed to go, but she's not there yet. And she's like sort of wrapped up in feeling, and she's kind of isolating herself. Like she's spending a lot of time on the quarterdeck and a lot of time sort of observing everybody. I think more punishments are meted out in those next couple of days to like members of the crew because she's trying to keep everybody like under strict discipline. Yeah, so she's stressed out.
Have you ordered anybody to be flogged yet?
No, not yet.
Good. So
Give me a reason.
Bill is still looking at you strange, a lot, but then again, what can he say? Cool. During that time, what horribly realistic dream do you have? The kind of dream that you're sure is real until you wake up and then you realize it must have been a dream. Or was it?
Oh, that's easy. So she has a dream where she is buried alive. Just like tactile, intense dream of like being in the coffin and like trying to find her way out and screaming and no one hearing her. And then when she finally manages to break through the wood of the coffin, the sea floods in.
Why is there no when you make the GM shudder in fear move? Seriously. Yeah. I want to see you and Shane playing Bluebeard's Bride and seeing who can creep the other one out faster.
Shane and I did play Bluebeard's Bride. You'd be surprised how it went.
No, I wouldn't. I've played Bluebeard's Bride with Shane. I know how that works. It's horrible. Yep. Ava, same question. What horribly realistic dream do you have?
I think it's me. It's Ava. Kind of like waking up in a familiar, dirty, rundown room that she's shared with her family for quite some time, and her kind of realizing where she is. She's young again, around teenage years, I think, and in an old dirty shift, and she comes out of the cottage and she's back in the west of Ireland, but in this small town, and it stinks. It stinks of rot and stagnant water, and she knows this road. She knows, okay, if you go down this end, that's where you'll get out. You go out to the sea, to the ocean, to the cliffs. But so she tries to run down that road because she remember running down that road. She did that before. That's what she did to get out of there. But the road never stops. Road never ends. And she's just stuck in that rotting stench.
That's fun. Okay. Bachelor number 3, same question.
So Carlitos in the water, like in the ocean, and it's at first actually not bad. It's kind of peaceful, and I mean fully submerged, and there's sea life around him. But then it starts to get dark and cold, and he hears the voice of the whale again, calling his name, and then it becomes more and more apparent that it's the voice of his brother. And then he sees the whale coming at him slowly at first, and then speeding up. And as it's coming straight at him, it opens its mouth, and inside are tons and tons of teeth, like a shark, not like a whale should be. And yeah, that's when wakes up, I guess.
So, plenty of fun times. You guys really ought to move to Austria. I'm pretty sure in about 40 years, you'll make some guy very rich. Awesome. All right. So you are moving more and more into a area that's rather desolate for the sea. So you don't sight any whales, but after several days of hard sailing, you do finally sight land. And props to you, Cap. That's actually a pretty neat trick of navigation to find Pitcairn in the middle of the ocean like that. So cool. No, there's no real great harbor there, but you can anchor close and send out boats, but it's a pretty rough landing there.
Yeah, I think we anchor off and send boats in.
Yeah. All right, so the people come and gather at the shore, both the Anglo and the Polynesian and their children. And they're all kind of just staring at you as you come in. Finally, one of them steps forward. Says, he's an older man. And says, "My name's John. Who are you that come on aboard Pitcairn like this?"
And she strides forward and holds her hand out and says, "Captain Charlotte Goodwin."
Captain? Huh. Well, now.
I know. If I was a 3-assed cat, you'd be less surprised.
Well, to be fair, I used to know many a captain that probably would be better off wearing petticoats, so meeting a woman that would be better off wearing breeches, I guess, is not too unusual.
I'm glad we feel the same way about most of the captains I've known.
We don't have much here, but what little we have, we'll share with you. We have water.
We can pay or trade.
Trade would be good.
We have whale oil in abundance and some other things that we keep on store.
Yes, everybody always brings whale oil. Do you have nails, knife blades, razors?
We do.
Very good. Those will work well too. So he takes you guys up to their houses, which aren't a lot to look at, but they're there. And people are just sort of milling around, staring. Everybody's kind of like not at ease at all.
Oh yeah. Do they just not see? Oh, well, you know what? I'll ask in character. So are there any attractive young women on this beach?
Yes, a few.
Are they yeah, so she like walks up to one of them and tries to work her usual charm. And just like, speak kindly to them and ask them questions and compliments them on their dress and all those things.
How's your South Sea Islanders languages?
Well, I'm wondering, do they speak French?
Probably not.
Okay.
Some of them speak English Creole, and some speak, Polynesian.
I imagine that she probably does speak because she's been on the sea her entire life. That she's picked up enough to be able to speak well with various indigenous groups.
Okay.
I think she's had people on her crew that have spoken those languages, and she's probably gone out of her way to learn them.
All right. She's quite shy and nervous around you, but eventually, if you give her some gifts, she opens up a little bit.
Yeah, I think I totally have, things little tokens and things like that I bring along to flirt with women. And after a little while, I wind up, sitting somewhere a little bit away from other people, and I say, "Do you not get many ships through here?"
Very few. Sometimes the British come by, sometimes whalers.
Is that why everyone seems so nervous?
We know not what you want from us, and there have been strange dreams of late.
Well, I'm sure I'm not the feature of any of those.
She kind of looks away.
Or am I?
Well, there's a smell of smoke upon you, Captain. My father had a dream several weeks ago. A ship burning on the water. It burned for a long, long time. Very bright. very hot.
What else did your father dream about?
Well, I had a dream that a ship would come.
Mm. And what? Just come?
A ship came.
Mm. Well, that's true. I can assure you that I mean you no harm.
It's been my experience that when ships come, they say they mean no harm, and yet when they leave, many have been hurt.
And how many of the captains of those ships were men?
She acknowledges that that is a fair point.
Listen, I'm not saying that you have to trust me with your children or anything, but no one on my boat will misbehave.
Okay, thanks. I like it when people give me GM moves that are pre-made. So, how is the merry crew doing?
Oh, yeah.
How is Leandro and Ava and Carlito doing?
So I can tell you Carlito does not speak Polynesian, at least not fluently. He may have picked up some words here and there, but yeah. I know that's going to be a question that comes up, I'm sure. But yeah, I feel like maybe I wanna. So people are uneasy, and I guess it's not a charged situation, though, is it? So I can't really read a situation.
No, it's charged.
Okay, cool. Gonna do it. What does that use? Uses brain. Can't remember if I have much in the way of brain. Okay. 7, 9. So, or no, wait, 8, but still similar thing. And I want to know. 7 and 9, ask 2. What should I be on the lookout for?
There is one middle-aged man who has a beat-up Bible that he's holding and consulting several times and keeps looking at you, and people seem to gather around him as if they accord him some respect.
And is he looking at me specifically or like us, you mean?
He's looking mostly at you in general, but now that you've noticed him, he's looking at you. Oh dear, did we lose you? Oh no, there you are. Thought we lost you there for a sec.
We have you now.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh dear.
freezing up, and then you want to disconnect and reconnect? Eek. I was watching Last Week Tonight yesterday, and they had the like and now this segment, It's like, and now uncomfortably awkward and protracted silences brought about by technical difficulties. So it's just like two television announcers like,
I saw that one too.
so
Eli,
funny.
are you back, Eli, or are you still?
I think they're frozen.
Yeah.
I saw the image moving for a little bit, but
Yeah, it moved for a second.
This happened to me in a game last week where my character's making a heartfelt speech to another about, hey, I want to show you about my culture and history. Oh, wait, are you frozen?
Oh no!
Well, shit, I'm not repeating that. I'm sorry.
I'm not repeating that. Screw you. Screw you and your technical difficulties.
And the funny thing is, we were playing the Veal, and they're playing the Honed, which has no technological cybernetic stuff on him. So, let down by technology.
hey, Eli, you seem to be back.
Yes, cool.
Hooray!
Yeah, so I asked if he was looking at us generally or me specifically. And that's something.
He's mostly looking at the crew generally, and now that he's noticed you looking at him, he's looking at you most definitely.
Of course, I've drawn his attention. And then I have one more question. Trying to get something that doesn't feel obvious, but actually, what here is not what it seems.
Based on what you see of the houses and everything else, there's more people living here than you're seeing milling around.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I think that's all I got for now.
What are you up to, Ava?
Sorry, hold on. Tab problems. I think after Bill's reprimand, she's just like, okay, if you're gonna be Bosun, sure, you look after the crew. I'll look after the captain, so to speak. So I'm actually like maybe a few feet away from the captain. Captain just like, but then I see her just like, oh, she's doing her thing. Okay, all right. I don't think I need to watch this. So like, I think I look and see what the crew's doing.
Well, they're taking their ease upon the shore, as you might expect. Gathering up wood to make some bonfires. Many are trying to follow around any of the women who live here.
Oh my God. All right, let me go up to them and tell them to fuck off. No, actually, do I see Carlito?
Yeah, he's kind of in the same general area.
What's his demeanor looking like?
Oh.
Yeah, so I am looking kind of curiously at the people. I'm a little sketched out by the old man. So you see me probably like glancing occasionally in his direction and looking away and trying to stop drawing attention to myself.
Well, you caught my attention, so I think I'm gonna start over.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I think when I kind of start over, you notice as well, because my sin, there's a thing that's always prominent on me, and what I decide is a rosary. So it's kind of prominent on me. So when I kind of stride over, you notice that, and I'm like, something caught your eye, Mr. Veal.
Question for you: what languages do you speak?
Only English fluently. The rest is a smattering. Enough.
Yeah.
I think enough French, but
okay. Yeah, because Carlito definitely speaks like obviously English, Portuguese, Spanish, and a little bit of French. But if So I guess I'll just continue speaking English then. So he kind of moves a little closer to you, and in a sort of like a hushed voice is like, "So that man with the book over there, he seems very important, and all the rest of the people seem to follow his word."
Do you think he'll try something?
I don't know. I just get a weird feeling about him, though. So,
Has your weird feelings ever proved you wrong or led you down someplace disastrous?
they tend to usually be correct when I listen to them.
Well, that's a shame. I was hoping there won't be much tension here, but yeah, I kind of look at the. Is that what's that man doing now?
He's still watching you guys, but you notice that there's some of the younger men are kind of hanging around him.
Okay. I think.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. Ava kind of like turns to you and is like, Mr. Veal, why don't you go down to the crew and supervise their acquisition of resources? I'll go seek the captain.
Can do. So,
I think before I go, I just kind of like just give the. I think I tried to get the guy with the Bible's attention.
Okay. I mean, how are you doing that?
Well, you mentioned that he had already noticed Carlito looking at him. So
Yeah.
if he ever turns back to that spot, you just see Ava there, kind of like staring at them, and they probably see the rosary as well. And yeah.
All right. Rosary, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he walks over, looks at you and says, "You're a papist."
Born and raised.
The ones that told us how to be Christians said that the papists were bad.
Well, there's been debate about that.
Well, I think it is bad that you have come here.
We don't plan on staying for too long. We have a journey to make. We came here to trade, some provisions, some contact with civilization before we set off. That's all.
Should I speak frankly to you?
By all means.
Woman of the sea.
She raises an eyebrow at that, like, okay, cool.
I think you are an ungodly ship on an ungodly mission. And this is no place for the servants of God to have any commerce with you. And it would be best if you were to be gone as quickly as possible.
We would gladly leave as soon as. Okay, no. I think she kind of looks at it and looks at the crowd of young men behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ava just kind of like, yeah, looks at that and says, I will take that into advisement. As far as I'm concerned, whatever gods are worshipped is up to the worshippers. But if our presence offends your sensibilities that much, we shall try and speed our engagement with your island.
I think that is well. There's only one God, you know.
Again, matter of debate.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That'll cool him off.
Yeah. Maybe I'm trying to intimidate them. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So meanwhile, the crew is building a bonfire in the open, and they've already. You can tell they've brought their grog ration for the day with them, and quite possibly for the next day, maybe the day after that too. So, Captain, what's your theories on this whole situation?
I mean, I'm going with what I've been directly told, which is that, they haven't been treated well by visitors to the island before. They are nervous about what happens when people with any sort of military force come through the area, which we have. So I'm just trying to tread lightly and be kind and, hoping that the fact that myself and a couple other crew members speak Polynesian and we're like stepping lightly is gonna engender some trust.
Okay. Cool. So, in the evening, the crew is building a bonfire and getting roaring drunk.
Cool.
How many muskets are on board the Tethys?
I mean, what's standard? I feel like they're probably not overarmed or underarmed.
Okay. Well, somebody has definitely broken out a couple of the muskets under the theory that they would go hunting.
Nope.
Okay. So
have they done it I'm guessing without my permission, without talking to me about it?
Pretty much.
Cool, great.
I think this has to be Zadok Bailey, the third mate.
Yeah, I think I
Can I get involved?
Absolutely. You are a hunter, aren't you?
Also, I feel like I need to redeem myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we know where I've been, but we're not going to say where I've been. But I come walking down to the beach and see this conglomeration of lunatics. And everyone's having a really good time. And then my voice snaps out into the evening air and says, Bailey!
So Bailey turns around holding a bottle of rum. It's like, hi, Captain. What can I do for you?
And she walks toward him. And I swear, like, anyone watching, it looks like she grows 2 feet as she approaches him.
That's okay. Zadok's not very tall.
Yeah. And she, like, reaches out and takes the gun in her hand. I don't know if he releases it or not, but it doesn't matter. She looks at him dead in the face and says, was that insubordination that I tracked in your voice just now, Bailey?
That depends. Are we to be a whaling voyage sailing for the profit of our company and our individual purses? Or are we pursuing some other goal, Captain?
Let go of the gun.
I don't know about you, Captain, but I'd feel a mite happier if I had this gun, considering our location and surroundings.
I think we have nothing to fear from the people on this island unless we give them reason to fear us.
Have you not seen the way they look at us, Captain?
They look at us the way that a people afraid of being conquered look at a bunch of white men with guns.
So, where are you in all this, Carlito?
I've come up behind him, and I am sort of locking eyes with the captain to make sure that it's okay if I intervene. Because the moment she gives me the look, I'm gonna deck him.
Into it. I am going to roll to intimidate him. And I roll an 11. Which I forget what it's plus. I actually need to open that.
It's plus brawn.
Plus brawn, which is my... I don't know if my brawn is... I should have opened this earlier. I thought I had it.
It's a 0 for you, so it's still an 11.
11. Not bad. It's up to him if he lets go of the gun. If he doesn't let go of the gun, I nod at Carlito.
Okay. He's definitely going to choose to endure the consequences of your threat. What exactly was your threat, essentially? That he's insubordinate?
That he's insubordinate.
It's like, well, Captain, there are provisions in the articles that we all signed that when the captain is too incapacitated to accomplish her duties, it is incumbent upon the officers of the ship to take command and restore the voyage to its profitable stand. You can punch him whenever you want.
Yeah.
I'm incapacitated and then looks at Carlito.
I'm doing my roll as you speak, and so I have a 6 plus 2 brawn, so that's good. No, 5 plus 2 brawn. That still gives me a 7. Still lets me do a thing.
Do
so
it.
7 and 9. I choose 2. I'm gonna impress, dismay, or frighten my enemy, of course. I guess take hold of the situation, by which I mean I want him to stop being a jackass.
Those are interesting choices.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because you didn't choose suffer little harm.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You clock him with, let's say a belaying pin. The common weapon of a shipmate.
Yeah.
He spins around. The gun goes off.
Oh.
No.
It's one of the fouling pieces, so it doesn't like shoot. It's not like you get shot by a 45 caliber lead bullet, which would shatter bone and tear flesh. But you catch a bunch of buckshot in the face and shoulder.
Ouch. That's okay.
Why don't you take 2 harm there, and but you then also you clobber him again. The gun rattles to the ground. Zadok goes down to his knees.
Yeah.
The rest of the crew is kind of backing away right now.
I kick him to the ground. I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm just trying to lay him out. And then I call for Bill.
So Bill comes running up. Yes, Captain.
This man will be flogged in the morning for insubordination. And then she steps over his prone body towards the men who are on the beach. And I am going to use my move, roll plus beauty.
Spiritual
fire. I don't have a lot of, but it's a whole thing. What's my beauty?
Your beauty's a 0.
No, my beauty's a -1. I'm not very pretty. The thing.
This is fair.
Are there ways in this game mechanically to boost or go for broke, or
people can help you?
People can help me.
Yeah.
I would like to ask for help because I really want to succeed at this.
Somebody can roll plus their bonds with you,
right?
And, if they get a 10 or up, you can take +2.
Right.
I'm okay to roll since I'm already in this situation.
Right.
So
I seem to recall that you have 2 bonds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so roll +2.
So that's a 5 plus. So it's only 7.
So a 7 will get you to 6.
Son of a bitch.
That's unfortunate. So you're about to address the crowd. You've got that fiery look in your eye. They're all backing away from the bonfire when the shipminders on the Tethys suddenly hoist a couple of red lanterns, and you can hear one of them singing out, "Ship ahoy!"
All right.
That seems to be a good time for us to take our break.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take 5-ish or so, and I'll see you all in a little bit.
Cool.
So hey, Cap, what's your reaction to the arrival of this ship?
I don't think that she's particularly scared about another ship being here or nervous. I think she kind of like pulls her shit together. And like any sober crew members are told not to drink anymore. Just in case.
Excellent. So very soon you see a whaleboat pulling into the bay. And as soon as it beaches, up pops onto the beach the flamboyantly dressed familiar figure of Captain Malachi Dixon, master of the Jezebel.
Oh, nice.
Well, now, Captain Charlotte Goodwin, what an unusual coincidence to run into you in such a lonely and forsaken spot as this.
It is, in fact, a coincidence. And she says, what brings you this way?
Well, Captain, I believe it was Aristotle who said that every man has his own daemon, and so my daemon has pushed me in this direction. What daemons are pushing you, Captain?
Well, that would be telling.
But I like to gossip, you know that.
You'll have to get me a little drunker before you get me to explain anything about what rides around in my head.
He pulls out a bottle of French brandy from his coat. I have just the thing to loosen your tongue, Captain.
She looks at her crew members and looks at the people that are disembarking the Jezebel and says, well, I brought this on myself, I guess.
By the way, what happened to that pleasant little bird of yours, Forbes?
You know, he has always been a free agent.
Oh, so we are to be denied his pleasant company, you're saying?
Well, you certainly are.
Oh, touche, Captain. Touche. Take thy beak from out my heart.
Listen, I'm sure there are a number of people whom you could go to for companionship on this particular island.
Why should I go looking? I seem to have found it already.
Hand me that brandy.
Roll plus hot.
Right? How dare you, Malachi? My goodness.
Yeah, so the Jezebels start mixing with the crew on the beach. But oddly enough, the party seems to die down, even though the Jezebels are having a good time, because the crew kind of doesn't trust the Jezebel. I mean, perhaps with some reason. Perhaps it was all the, strange dancing and chanting they were doing on nights on their ship, Cool. Eva, Carlito, you guys doing anything?
Well, I was kind of shot in the face, so I'm sort of trying to
true.
clean that up.
You most certainly need some medical attention.
Probably deal with that. Yeah, where's the doctor? You got shot during the break.
Yeah, somewhere around. I'm sure whoever your current surgeon is can be found.
Yeah, I think our other surgeon melded into the deep way back.
Yeah,
so
sort of walked off into the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do. There's a surgeon on board. I think I got it on the crew tab. Did I take them off? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. So your wounds are getting dressed, but you're still kind of in some bad shape here.
Yeah.
Before I go off with the other captain, can I talk to him?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, I think.
Stop you.
Yeah, right. So I, tell Malachi to wait, and I walk over to where the doctor's seeing to you, which I'm guessing is probably one of the buildings on the island. Probably not like out in the open. But either way, I walk up and I say, well, I should have known that one act of discipline wouldn't change your view of me forever, but it was nice to see.
Well, I did sort of owe you for making you look foolish, so I guess this is what I deserve. And he kind of like gestures to his face.
She like reaches out and like brushes the hair off of your brow and looks at it and says, "Oh, friend, you did not deserve this." That's what punishment is for. Punishment tells us that we've paid our debts.
I suppose that's true. I should have thought better to deck him before the gun was safely out of way.
Well, get into a few more fights and you'll get a taste for what goes where.
It's true. It's true. So, Malachi, so a side note, yeah, I was obviously not playing Carlito while things happened, so I kind of just picture Carlito having been kind of in a daze that entire time. He was getting over his injuries, so I like to think he wasn't really involved in what happened. So he's like, this Captain Malachi, what's that about?
He is of the Jezebel, and as far as I can tell, a friend.
Okay. Is he trustworthy?
She like laughs and stands up and pats you on the shoulder and says, "Friendship and trust do not always work together as helpmates."
It's true. Yep.
Rest. I appreciate and value your support and your presence here.
Thank you, Captain.
And she wanders off laughing with Malachi and French. What was it?
Brandy.
French Brandy.
Yes. Why do I have the song Bad Boyfriend running through my head?
Bad boyfriend. Or I am. We're both bad boyfriends.
It's definitely a garbage relationship. See what I did there? Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. I'm terrible. Okay. Eva? What are you up to?
During this whole time, I've been kind of, again, my usual spot, a couple of feet away from the captain, but I'm keeping my eye on the locals. Already seeing all this sudden arrival of probably more not God-fearing sailors.
Yeah, they are not happy. You gotta admit, it looks kind of suspicious that two whaling ships would suddenly appear.
Yeah. Does any one of them come up to try and confront anything? Or do I see the man with the Bible again?
Yeah, he's just gazing down at this bacchanalian rich orgy on the beach.
I'm gonna go up to him.
Hello, Papist.
I do believe we both have names. We should use them.
My name is from my friends. You're not yet my friend.
Fair enough. Tell me, then, how does one root out ungodliness?
One drives it away, or one cures it.
Which one do you usually go for? Which tool usually serves you best?
That depends on the sin and the sinner.
Ava gestures to the beach. Care to judge, then?
I judge them less harshly than you might think. Is it not the custom in your lands that a condemned man is allowed to eat whatever he wants before he dies?
That sounds familiar, yes. So tell me, then, man of God, have we been already judged? Before even we came here.
Does not Jesus say that forgiveness is for the asking?
I guess it depends on whether we ask for forgiveness. What do you do for those who don't?
Then the judge of all will judge them.
Then I suppose you and your people need not do anything else.
I merely stand watch, for I do not wish my people harmed.
It's a good policy. Like I said, we will be out of your hair and your judgment soon. Off to
When?
Ava just kind of like a don't you fucking push me. Just well, I know we will not leave soon. Well, okay, no, I think I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how she's going to phrase this. I think it's like I doubt any inducement would hurry us up.
I could think of a few inducements, but
such inducements often come with a heavy price.
I'm aware. The question becomes, is that price lower than the price we would pay by waiting?
It is a very dear price, man of God. I think this is where I'm trying to intimidate.
Okie dokie. Why don't you give it a roll?
All right. So this is my good stat. Yeah, that's an 11.
Oofda. Okay, so what is the nature of your threat?
It's the low. I think it's just. I think what I kind of say is like, yeah, that it is going to be a dear price, and unlike those locked down there on the beach, I think those on the beach have already been judged, and would have. Trying to figure out the wording. I think it's more the case like, yeah, Ava's standing. I think the thing which usually does, just show a bit of glint of that revolver. I think she does mention that, yeah, those at the beach have already been judged. And they come with friends who care not for the gods of others.
I hope to see your ship leaving soon. And he turns and motions at the men on his side, and they just sort of retreat up into the bush.
Oh, I hope very much the same. Ugh.
Okay. So, what horribly realistic dream of being on board the Tethys do you all have this night?
Oh, I know the answer to that. So in this dream, I am standing in the hold with all the whale oil, and I'm smoking a cigar, and then I drop it.
Cool.
I think Carlitos is that I'm on the deck of the ship, and it all just kind of starts to break apart, just like underneath me, and opening up below me is the water, and there's like hands reaching out.
Cool.
Is Ava waking up again in the hull of the ship when it's stuffed full of corpses? They're all mostly rotting, starved, thin, gaunt corpses.
Okay, that's cool. How you guys feel in the morning when you wake up?
I'm probably a little sore. I was shot.
Hungover, and maybe like I made out with a captain.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're sad and annoyed, but that's nothing new, I guess.
All right. So, yeah, you can see the fabulously ornate Jezebel hanging off in the water. And the crew there's water parties going out to load up the ship. And I guess you're alone with Captain Dixon. Maybe he sort of rolls over on the coat he spread out to use as a blanket for you two. Now, Captain, are you willing to tell? I mean, you've kissed, so you might as well.
She like leans all the way back on the thing, and she's smoking a cigarette, and she goes, "Have you ever heard God's voice, Malachi?"
I've only heard it through intermediaries, because they say that to hear the voices of the gods is to be driven mad.
When you say intermediaries, do you mean men or beasts?
Assuredly, I do not mean either men nor beasts.
Then you may know what I'm about to say. I don't know what the original speaker sounds like, but the things it's speaking through, well, they're real. And I'm going where they tell me.
And where are you going, Charlotte Goodwin?
Nowhere.
I mean, in an existential sense, so are we all, but I don't really understand your meaning plain.
What was the name of that place?
We call it the Nemo Point now, but they assuredly would not call it that now because
No,
the novel hasn't been written yet. So
yeah. So she says there is a place in the middle of the sea that is the furthest from land as any place can be, and that is where I'm going. Nowhere.
He looks visibly distressed. Captain Charlotte, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
Surely you must have noticed that as we sail further south, the dreams become stronger and stranger.
Sure.
There is some force out there, and it does not care about human lives.
I'm aware.
Then why go there? Flee it, Charlotte. Come with me. Think of all the things that we could do together. Think of all that we could accomplish. I mean, I'm only 35 years old. I deserve at least another century or two of life. All these things are possible between us.
Century or two.
I mean, I'm not too greedy. Besides, you can only steal people's souls so many times before it gets boring.
Malachi, the difference between you and I is that I would rather be dead and see the face of divinity than live forever and not know it.
They will destroy you, Charlotte. It is not for our partaking.
Price. Pay it gladly.
And what of your crew?
It is my hope that they will leave me at the end.
And who will captain them?
James is a fit.
James seems a mite loyal to you. Are you not afraid he would make that final walk with you?
Possible. I'm not insane. I simply have my eyes on things that aren't here.
And you're sure that it's you who are at the wheel?
How can anybody ever be sure that it's them? Why do you think I'm possessed?
No, but there are other ways to accomplish the same means.
If there were a way for me to see the things I want to see without facing my own destruction, I would go for it. But I've sailed up and down the whole ocean. All of them. And I haven't seen it.
Charlotte, let me make you this last desperate pitch. You have not sailed these waters with someone like me. Why, together think the things we could do. We could sail together for a while on this voyage, and on the next, well, we could co-captain a ship where I'd be mate to you, and we could sail. I'm not pitching that we are hold fasting. I mean, my predilections are wide as the great Pacific. But of all the people on the sea, have you ever met someone like me? Someone who understands what you are upon?
If I come back alive, I'll take you up on it.
What a waste of potential. What a sad, sad waste. You're a good win. You could be more than this.
And maybe I will. if they're calling me, it has to be for a reason.
Only them of the waves can see their God and live. I fear for you, Charlotte.
You're right. I passed fear a long ways back.
Yeah, with that, he gets up and goes and starts talking to his officers.
Great. Whew.
Cool. So yeah, Ava, in the morning, that guy is back with his Bible.
Yeah, God damn it. Let me guess. Inducement?
You dreamt poorly last night.
I've long ceased to know what it is to dream well.
That is sad.
It is my life. It has been for a while. I've learned to live with it.
I think I understand more now why you have chosen to make this journey of the damned.
Just another passenger.
If there are people like you who are of stronger mind and reformable spirits and they wish to stay with us, we will hide you till the ship is gone.
Well, that would certainly be up to those who are willing to take you up on that offer. I think she kind of turns to the ship and is like, I know a kindred spirit when I see one, and from what I've observed, most of the crew are not of that kind. I'll pass along your offer.
I'll tell you then the only bit of wisdom that I can give you. It is always possible to turn away. Even at the moment of your destruction, you may still salvage something from the wreckage.
I'll keep that in mind when the hour comes. Ava Morgan.
Mikala.
Yeah, then Ava nods and goes back to the ship.
Cool. Carlito. So while you're sitting on the beach, Captain Dixon comes by and sits down next to you.
Yeah, so question. I don't know how this works in sailing. Would I be expected to greet a captain from another ship in like a particular way also?
Just give him the honorific captain.
Okay. So I look a little surprised, but I nodded and I was like, Captain.
I don't think I had the chance to make your acquaintance back when we were still sailing with the Tethys.
No, I was not very active. I was recovering from some wounds.
Well, now that is an interesting coincidence because one of my harpooneers is unfortunately injured.
Let's see. I'm Carlito Avila.
I know who you are, Carlita Avila of the Tethys. I've heard that you are a good man with an iron.
I'm not bad.
Well, there's a position for second harpooner on board the Jezebel, and it is open.
You barely know me. Why would you offer?
I have need of a harpooner. You seem to have some talent. I'll put it to you frankly, Carlito Veal of the Tethys. I do not think you will come back from this voyage.
What makes you say that?
Let's just say a little bird told me.
I'm gonna try and read him.
That's a good idea.
And that's 6. So
when he says that, you look at him and you just get a chill because the way he looks at you, he still has that half smirk on his face that is endemic to his personality, but his eyes are so cold and filled with emptiness that you just have to shudder on the beach.
yeah.
I don't know if your love is being tested here, but because I feel like that might need to be more active, but
It can be. Yeah.
yeah, I think right now you're feeling this sudden premonition of your own doom.
Yeah.
And that's the test between the captain and you, your loyalty.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I roll with Beyond. Uh 10.
Some 11.
Yeah. So
That's fantastic.
yeah,
Your love
good.
is true, pure, and strong. It fills your heart with fire. Take +3 to your next move, your next roll.
Cool. Excellent.
Cool. So I guess you see Captain Goodwin sauntering down on the beach.
Yeah. So I think I stand and I say thank you for the offer. I'll take it into consideration. When will you be leaving?
As soon as humanly possible. As soon as my water part has come back.
All right. Well, I'll let you know. Otherwise,
He stands up to us. Actually, sooner than humanly possible, if I can arrange it. And he stalks off towards the boats.
yeah. So I'm gonna go over to Charlotte, Captain Wood, I should say.
She looks a little wounded. I think she's making assumptions about what your conversation was like over there.
Yeah, Captain.
And she's sort of smoking sullenly. Carlito.
He offered me a position on a ship.
You take it?
No. I said I'd think about it, but I don't know. What I don't know that I have a reason to go there.
And she you can see the relief on her face. And she says, I don't know what I have done to earn your loyalty.
Oh. That's me reacting, not Carlito. But Carlito does smile a little bit. He's like, "You're my friend. I don't know. I feel like you understand me more than most people." So, but can I be frank?
Well, now's as good a time as any.
What's going on? why are we here? And what are you doing?
It's a fair question. And she like looks around to see that like nobody else can really hear and says, there is a chance that I won't be coming back. The place that we're going to, the things that we've experienced, there's something calling me there. And I don't know if it will let me leave once I arrive. I don't know if it'll let me live once I arrive.
Then why are you going?
And she looks at you and you can see like fervor kindling in her eyes. And she says, Carlito, if you're offered the chance to look into the face of the Almighty, don't you take it?
I guess it depends on whether or not I think there's anything else worthwhile in this world, but you just love sailing so much, and you're such a good captain, and you've accomplished so much. Why?
I've spent my whole life looking for it. A reason behind everything that's happened, behind all the suffering and pain and good things and beautiful things. And if there's some divine voice that conjured all of us here, then I want to talk to it.
How do you know that what you're hearing is the voice?
Question that people have been asking since Moses heard the burning bush. How do you?
I don't understand, but I guess there's nothing I can do to stop you, is there?
Malachi tried last night. This morning. There's a chance I won't die in the attempt. Who knows? And I'll sail forever on the high seas. Who knows?
But Charlotte, and he normally wouldn't say your name unless he's sure that people aren't around.
Right.
It seems like you might be risking everyone else for this. Are you really comfortable with that?
No, at every step it's been motorcycle. At every step it's been not us. Just me and others. So I'm confident enough that when the time comes, it'll be just me. And whoever wants to come with me. But I'll leave James on the ship for the rest of you.
No. Okay.
I'm telling you because you're my friend, and if you want to go with Malachi, that would make sense to me.
Well, that's a hard choice. If I know for sure you're not going anywhere, I certainly wouldn't, but I'm not sure there's a point in staying on the Tethys if you're gone.
and she you can see like her eyes start to get a little wet, and she says, I support whatever decision you make.
Thank you, Captain. And he like kind of swallows hard, like he's gonna choke up too, and he's like, I'm gonna go find the surgeon. My wounds are hurting.
Yes. I think I'm gonna go check on the ship.
This is gonna go so well. Just remember, I offered you an exit ramp. I offered an exit ramp.
Oh my god, my feelings is so bad, you guys.
My heart.
I can't take the exit ramp. I can't do it.
This is gonna end so. This is gonna end fine. This is all gonna be fine.
It's all gonna go super great.
Peak Ahab achieved. I find it odd that that James Fife is that Ava is basically being the Starbuck to your Ahab, rather than James, who's just sort of egging you on.
Yeah, James seems to be really into this.
Yeah.
No.
That.
Odd. Fine. It's all fine.
Cool. So cool. Okay. Oh, we still got like an hour, so we can do all sorts of horrible things. I think the Jezebel sails with you guys for a little while.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, this weird and uncomfortable thing where you can see their crew kind of just looking at your ship and your crew is looking at their ship.
Like Malachi, the unflushable fuck buddy.
Can I actually ask that Ava talks to Captain Malachi? I think before he sails off.
Sure.
Just real quick.
Absolutely.
I think before you jet off, and I think this is before I also mentioned Mikhail's offer to the Tethys, which I should mention that. But yeah, I think I catch up to him before everything jets off and says, Captain Dixon.
You're the bosun's mate, right?
Yes, under Mr. Walker, under Captain Goodwin.
Well, Bill Walker's a good man, and he'll be hard to replace.
Wow.
It's just not making any bones about it.
Yeah.
You guys are all dead.
How many have jumped ship so far then, Captain?
Well, I don't have a large ship to hold people, but a couple of people have asked if they may sign on with me, and normally I would consider that to be an unconscionable rudeness, but given the circumstances right now, I thought it only right to allow them. I mean, for passage, they lose their legs. But what shall it profiteth a man, eh?
Your conscience shines ever brighter, Captain. I may have another option for them as well. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I came to ask for a favor.
Well, now I deal in favors, but they rarely come free.
I'll see whatever price you have. It shouldn't be anything too drastic for you, Captain. Are you sailing by Kingsport again?
Should we survive, I plan to return to Bedford. And then from there, I could certainly take the ferry up to Kingsport.
Well, you need not need to go straight there. I just need, and she pulls out a letter. I just need this posted to address as it's written here.
Well, for that's nothing. I can carry a letter home for you. I'll send it on advance if I meet a returning Yankee.
Thank you, Captain. Knowing that where we're going, bit of peace of mind.
And you're all right with your captain's actions, eh?
Captain Dixon, wherever one wants to go, well, it's not my job to dissuade them. If they want to sink to the bottom, if that's what they desire, then that's their prerogative. Mine is not to stop them.
I understand. Trust me, I understand. I just think it's unfortunate.
That's how the sea goes, Captain.
There's some seas that are not fit to be sailed upon. Bid you well, Miss Morgan. Good fortune to you.
Yourselves as well, Captain. Yeah, I think that's when Ava kind of goes back to the ship. Actually, looking quite a bit sadder probably after sending off that letter, and then she tells the crew Mikhail's offer.
All right. That's interesting. How hard do you sell it?
Honestly, she's probably a bit casual about it, but she says that there is a choice, and there's a choice to stay for those who still fear certain gods. And when the Tethys come back, they will still have room should they want it.
So Bill says, but it's rare for whalers to call on Pitcairn, so to stay here is to face the possibility of permanent exile, Miss Morgan.
Oh, don't worry, I've made sure our plight is not unknown to back home.
Still, we are talking of years being marooned on Pitcairn.
Mr. Walker, do you have illusions as to do you have any illusions as to where this voyage is headed?
Miss Morgan, for now, I follow the captain, as is legal under the articles that we all signed. What is your opinion in your capacity, your official capacity as a ship's officer and my mate, of the captain's current mental state?
Mr. Walker, I fear my opinion might be poisoned, for I see nothing but kinship with the captain.
All right, then. So the audience breaks up. Later, when you're passing up on deck, you can see him and Elizabeth, the first harpooner, having a they're having a strong argument in like hushed tones over near what are called the chains. It's the place where the shrouds that hold the mast up are attached to the side of the boat. It's a place people can go sing. Cool. actually. So, Cap, you're down in your great cabin, and Elizabeth comes in.
Into my cabin?
Well, she knocks first.
Yeah, I'm like lounging across my chair reading a book, and I say, "Enter."
Captain?
Elizabeth. What can I do for you?
Just want you to know that I'm staying on board.
Was there some doubt?
Not from me.
So who's jumping ship?
None that I know of.
And who's thinking about jumping ship?
Can't speak for what another man thinks, ma'am.
Come in, close the door.
All right.
What prompted you to come and tell me in person?
That you've always been good to me, at least, ma'am.
I'd like to think that the crew thinks I've been good to them in general.
Yes, but you understand it's different for us.
It is. It is. I'm worried I'm losing their faith.
Then give it back to them.
How would you suggest I do that?
Make them believe.
In me or in what I'm doing?
If they believe in you, then what you do will not matter to them.
Well, I appreciate your counsel. And I'm glad you're staying.
So she turns to go, and as she steps out the door, she turns back and with her, wry Elizabeth grin says, "Don't make me regret that," and then closes the door.
Awesome.
So Carlito, now that you're underway, where are you at, man? I just trying to.
Oh, so many feelings. So much confusion. Did I make the right decision? What would I be up to?
Well, there is actually one thing that we haven't talked about yet, but I'm afraid it's going to have to be Ava's responsibility. So we can set the scene either before or after the punishment detail that you have been given to the captain. We can.
Right.
Yeah. Cool, because I wanna do the spiritual fire thing. Do that then.
That seems appropriate. We're gonna veil the hell out of if the actual punishment happens, we're gonna veil it because it's horrible and brutal, and
nobody needs to see that. Well, let me do the spiritual fire thing first.
So you're doing it before the punishment detail? Okay, cool.
What was the guy's name again?
Zadok. But I kind of would like to get Carlito some. Do you have any thoughts on how to set this up before we begin on this? Or I think you might need a scene with the captain.
Yeah.
Especially since you're carrying around that +3.
Okay, so
we are.
Yeah. So Zadok, I think his name is. So, oh yeah, it's supposed to be whipped.
Yep.
Yeah. Ouch. How do I feel about this? Okay. Yeah. So I go to the captain. So he deserves to be whipped under normal circumstances, but with people being uneasy, are we sure this is the best decision?
Where are we? You on the quarterdeck? In my quarters?
Wherever it's more private, I think.
Yeah, my quarters. Well, they're both private, so we'll just say my quarters.
Yeah.
And I put down the like busy work that I was sort of doing before you said that, and I say, "What are you suggesting?"
He needs to be punished, it's true. But maybe we could do something else. If it's too brutal, I'm just afraid it'll drive people to mutiny.
You understand, if anyone other than you were to say this to me, I would be very angry.
I know.
I'll tell you what, I'll give him a chance.
All right.
I'll give him a chance to avoid the lash.
That sounds fair.
Right. Then I guess we're going up.
Let's do it. After you, Captain.
So we go up. Where do they normally do like the lashing stuff?
So they on a ship with a capstan, you would tie the guy's hands to the capstan's a big think of it as a wheel, except it's like a wheel that's parallel with the deck. So that people can walk around it and turn it, and that drives one of the winches. So the traditional way is to tie them up to the capstan, and then the bosun's mate will take out the cat and
the thing.
Yeah.
All right. So I rolled a 10, which is a 9 because I have -1 beauty because that's my life.
Unless somebody wants to help you.
Who wants to help?
Like somebody holding a +3 on their next roll.
Oh yeah, I can help you.
So
yeah, I'm not helping that. So.
You're rolling at +4 only because you can't roll at +5.
Right.
Let's hope this goes well. So I got a 9. So already we're in good shape. So yeah, I guess I got a 12 with my.
Awesome. Great. So that means that I have a
+2. So.
Oh, 10, 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, great. So we go up and like the crew is gathered around because like they used to do this stuff publicly, right? Like they would.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I go up and I like step on top of something so that I'm like a little bit like heads above the crew. And I say, I've never had a family. Never got married, never had kids. And my parents, well, the less said about them, the better. This crew is my family. People say a lot of things about women as captains, say we're weak, say we can't do the job, but I think I've proven over and over again that that's not true. And I love all of you. I haven't been completely honest, but that's a captain's prerogative. I don't have to tell you everything. It's your job to follow me. And we are going somewhere that I think is going to hold answers to questions that we have all asked ourselves over and over and over again. I don't want to flog you. You were insubordinate, but I understand why. If you will agree to trust me and take a small dock on your wages because insubordination must be punished, then I'll untie you right now.
So which three are you choosing?
I'm going to choose the first three. They act immediately, they don't misinterpret my message, and they don't use violence to follow my message. They can demand miracles and boons of me later if they want.
Sadok gives a very quick nod. And Bill immediately springs to untie him because Bill does not like flogging.
Yeah.
But as the crew gathers around, they start shouting like, "But Captain, we need a sign, Captain. We've been profitable so far, but this is more than we asked for. We need a sign."
Can I say what the sign is?
Yes.
Do I have to roll for it or anything?
No, they demand boons or miracles from you, and I've been holding on to one for a while now, so from the last time you did this, so it is amplified. They want a sign.
Yeah, I think is there something I can roll to call a sign or do a thing?
I don't know. What are you thinking of doing?
So the previous sign that made them believe in me was St. Elmo's.
Mm-hmm.
So some sort of way to like conjure St. Elmo's fire. I mean, I suppose I could roll Sense What's Beyond and sort of see what happens.
Yes. All right. Let's do it that way.
Or even like, yeah. I just don't like. There's no like magic in this game.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you act under pressure?
Act under pressure. Okay. Cool.
Because I mean, you're literally acting under pressure.
I am. This is true. This is what's happening. Yes, I rolled a 9. I got a 10.
Got an 11.
Oh, thank God.
Cool. Well, so
rolls
Can I make a recommendation?
What's that?
I like St. Elmo's fire, but wouldn't it be great if a whale showed up right now?
Yeah, I'm of two minds of this. Actually, so let's do the Reese's solution and have two great tastes that taste great together. Almost immediately, the guy on the masthead sings out, "There she blows!" At the same time that you, Captain, can see that there's a hell of a storm brewing up not too far, on the horizon, and it's going to hit you guys fairly soon. But there's also whales.
So yeah, I call everybody to action. We're all lowering boats. And of course I'm on one of them. As we sight on and close with the whale.
Okay. This feels to me like I need act under pressure from our dear Carlito and an act under pressure from our dear Ava.
That's not ominous at all.
No, not at all.
No. Well, it's 10. So,
all right. So you're on the ship and shouting out orders as Bill takes the helm to keep the trim as the storm starts to hit you, and you can tell this is going to be a hell of a gale. And you, Carlito, we want to see 8. How.
So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So your choice.
Yeah.
Do you cut the whale loose, or do you let it tow you into the storm?
Oh fuck! Well, I can't let it go again. So I'm going into the storm, I guess.
Fantastic. All right, Captain. So you and your whaleboat are being towed into the storm by this angry whale.
So down. So into this. It's great.
So the crew are looking at you like, what are your orders, Captain?
The crew on my whaleboat.
Yeah, there's you, 4 dudes, and Carlito.
Great. I guess, we're being towed along, so get the harpooner up front.
I mean, you've got a harpoon in the guy.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you should be going up front with the lance to finish the whale.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that.
Okay, fantastic.
And I'm shouting at them to hold steady and do all the things, boating.
Be competent at your jobs.
Keep working.
I honestly can't decide if you're acting with force or acting under pressure, so I think we need to clarify the situation a little bit.
So I think I get up to the front and I'm, bracing myself on the boat.
Which is hard because the waves are pitching you up and down.
Yeah, which is really hard to do. And then, getting my lance ready. So I don't know which one that is.
That sounds like act under pressure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Reroll selected. I roll a 5. I roll a 6. Son of a bitch.
Cool. Cool.
The water.
Okay. So you raise up the lance and the waves smack into the boat. So you miss. Your lance sails out and hits the water, and actually you let go of the rope, and so it just vanishes into the drink, and then you see the whale turn, and just with one whack of his tail, he stoves your boat.
Son of a bitch.
So you're not in a boat anymore. You are in a bunch of loose planks bobbing up and down on the waves.
Great.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
Going super well.
Yeah. Carlito, what are you going to do?
So I'm also in the water, I'm assuming. Our whole boat.
Yeah, the boat is gone. The whale turned it into kindling.
Well then.
Wet kindling at that.
Yeah. Oh, heck. Now, what do you do in a crappy situation like this?
Try and see a way out of it?
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Read a situation. Sure.
Yeah, that works.
Oh no! It's a 4.
Cool. Okay, you're trying to figure out what to do, but then you get a wave, because the waves are now going crisscross. One just smacks you in the face, and you slip under the water. But Captain, you see this.
Yeah.
You're bobbing up and down on an oar that survived the wreck.
Great.
And you see Carlitos slip under the water.
I mean, I obviously go for him.
Okay.
Act under pressure.
Yep.
I roll an 8.
Oh, that's good. That's not bad at all.
Why is that not bad?
Well, I mean, yeah. I'm supposed to come up with a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. These are all.
I'm gonna die.
I think that you have to go down so deep that if you rescue Carlito, you're going to take 2 harm.
I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a captain. All right, so you finally both come spluttering up. You do not see the rest of the crew at this point.
Oh, fuck.
But you find the oar, So you're bobbing up and down on the oar and like screaming for help. But nobody's really gonna hear you, maybe? I don't know. You seem to be in quite the predicament. If only there was something you could do.
Read a situation?
Sure. Or, I mean, yes, you can definitely read a situation, and that is brains, which you're good at.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that, because if I sense what's beyond, we're just gonna die.
Possibly.
It's a very real thing that will definitely happen. So race situation is plus brain. My brain is 2. I rolled a 6. I've got an 8.
An 8. All right. So ask me 2 questions.
What is my best way out?
If you could somehow get some kind of spar or something and find a way to hold that up, at least you might be able to put a flag on it and at least make yourself a lot more visible. Also, sooner or later there's going to be that's the answer for that question.
And what is my biggest threat? That's probably the whale.
Whale of drowning. So many
things. I mean, what here is not what it seems. I think everything else is pretty obvious, but oh no. Well, this could be when St. Elmo's fire happens.
Could be. It's hard for you to keep your course, but you know that the wind is blowing is definitely blowing the ship in your direction.
Okay. Cool.
So you may not be completely lost out on the water.
Right.
What you basically need is some way to make yourself more visible than just 2 heads bobbing up and down on the top of a wave.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to try and do what you said and rip off a piece of my clothing and put it on the end of something and wave it around.
I mean, Carlito, do you still have your harpoon?
Yeah, I do still have my harpoon.
Cool.
So we work on that together.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody's going to be acting under pressure and somebody could help.
Yeah. You want to roll or you want me to?
I feel like I've been having bad luck with rolls. I'll let you roll, and then I'll get my roll to help ready.
I rolled a 10.
Oh, wow. There you go.
12, yeah. So I rolled a 12.
So, Ava, you are up on the mast helping to reefing the sails, and you can't help but wonder if you see like this captain's scarf bobbing up and down on the waters, maybe a couple thousand yards from the prow.
I have amazingly good eyesight.
You do. I mean, that's part of your job.
Yeah, definitely. I think I just start shouting to anyone down there that captain over there. I don't know, more nautical terms.
Man overboard, woman overboard.
Captain overboard. Crew members overboard. Yeah.
So people run to the rail and then they're not really sure what to do, if they should try and lower a boat or what.
I'm going to tie a line to myself and jump in there if I have to.
Wow. There is a life tub, so you could definitely take that out to her. Yeah.
Of course, if I do this, there's a good case that only James and Enoch will be around next week.
It's acting under pressure. You're actually good at that.
Yeah. Which one's acting under pressure again?
Balance.
All right, so that is that's a 9.
A 9. Okay. When you get close enough to the captain, you can see they're both kind of waterlogged and hypothermic, and probably not going to be able to help you much, and you are approaching the same. So you can hold on to one of them and the life buoy at the same time.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's
Cool.
cool.
It's not necessarily killing the other person, but
The other person would just have to hold on to them, and that'll go super well. It'll be fine.
yeah.
I think the way Eva's gonna justify this is she's going to shout to the captain to hold on to Carlito. I don't know why Eva thinks Carlito's the softer one of the two. Yeah, she is going to grab on to Captain Goodwin and just shout at her to like hold on to Carlito.
Cool.
Cap.
Yep.
Would you do me a favor?
Yep, sure.
Act under pressure, but roll brawn instead of balance.
Cool. I rolled a 7.
Okay. You quickly realize 2 things. 1, you do not have the strength to hold on to Carlito. 2, his harpoon is at hand. By which I mean, you can throw the thing that's designed to stick into flesh.
Yeah, no, I know that's what you mean.
Okay, good. Wasn't sure if you were like, oh, Cap means mercy killing time.
No. I just don't know if I want to stab my crew member. Yeah, I think I like haul Carlito up and wrap his hand around Ava's.
So you're staying?
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. So by now they've already started hauling the life buoy back. So fairly quickly you and Carlito are on deck, both waterlocked beyond belief. And Bill was like, "Where's the captain?"
I think Eva stands up, trying to utter fatigue, and just kind of like runs to the railing, just trying to see where the captain is.
Yeah, but that spar is down now. So, Cap, what are you gonna do? You can see the ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna try for it.
Okay.
Or like put myself in the trajectory of it. Something.
This is the way I think. Yeah.
Or just throwing it out there, this could be the St. Elmo's fire moment.
It could be. It's too bad Enoch's not here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would solve this problem for us. Easy.
Yeah, he would solve this problem.
Just get out, walk on water, pick you up.
Don't know why this is hard for people.
Okay.
What if I throw the life tub at her?
You don't know where I am.
Oh, yeah, I can't see.
I mean,
I could just throw it out there in frustration. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you can totally do that. Okay.
You want me to roll something?
Yeah, I think I need you to act under pressure because you're definitely acting under pressure no matter what.
Right.
Because the pressure you're under is not drowning.
Not drowning. Act under pressure is plus balance. My balance is 2. I rolled a 7. I rolled a 9.
That's fantastic. Are you carrying any harm? You're carrying 2 harm, huh? Yeah. Okay, so you're carrying 3 harm now.
Great. Delightful.
It is delightful, but you're still close enough to the ship that you can see it. I mean, it's close. It's just trying to bridge that gap, and all the waves and water is hard. Cool. However, I can give you other stuff too. Oh wow, we did lose Leanne. Oh, there he is. He's back. Cool. But when you go down under the water, as you come back up and you're going back down, you see the note back coming up from beneath you.
It's a nightmare. Great. The note back. I think in an act of pure faith, rather than wrestle with the currents on the surface, I take a deep breath and swim down.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. Should I roll acting under pressure for that? Or
no, I think you do it.
Yeah.
Swim down, and its tentacles lace around you gently.
Great.
Even though you can see that they're as sharp as shark skin.
Awesome.
And you're just hovering there, looking at its multiple eyes. And one very graceful tentacle detaches from the side of one of the big tentacles and just wraps itself around the moon necklace.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel a tug.
Cool. Does it want it?
Yeah, actually, it just pulls it, and the chain breaks.
Okay.
What do you do?
Nothing. I let it take it.
Okay. So you guys are on the deck, half dead, when something humps out of the water. You can't really you can't really see it well in all the wind and rain, but then the captain is lowered on the deck by what look like giant squid tentacles and then released. And you hear a strange howling noise, and then whatever it is that brought her out of the waves vanishes beneath them.
I'm guessing I'm in bad shape.
You have 3 harm. Yes, you're in very bad shape.
Yeah.
3 harm is bad.
Yeah.
3 harm will not get better on its own.
Which does that mean, when you say 3 harm, does that mean I mark the 3? That's what I was wondering.
Yep.
I wasn't sure when I take 2 if I take 1 and 2 in the box.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a harm clock. So
Great. That makes sense. I just wasn't clear on that before. Thank you.
Yep. So I guess they carry you back to your cabin.
Yeah.
You have abrasions all over your body. Your clothes were shredded.
Yeah, I probably got cuts from like the broken wood of the ship, and
yep. And the sawtooth tentacles that gently wrapped around you.
Yeah, I'm hypothermic. I'm delusional or delirious.
I mean, both can be true. Cool. I think the question is for Carlito. What do you do when you see the captain brought back out of the waves like this?
Yeah, I'm actually going to stay by her side. She saved my life, so I'm going to hurriedly call for the surgeon and help carry her back to her quarters and stay with her.
Oh, her loyal pup. Cool. So you're in a familiar situation, Ava. The captain is raving inside her cabin. The ship is steering under a terrible storm, but now being driven implacably to the south.
Okay, yeah.
And at one point, Bill calls you into the great cabin.
Sorry, my internet started to break up, so I'm switching to audio.
Okay.
What did you just say there?
So Bill calls you into the great cabin. You can hear the snores of Carlito and the muttered ravings of the captain. behind the door to her sleeping chamber, and he just points. He points at the telltales. So set into the ceiling of the great cabin are is a compass and a chronometer, so that the captain can always look up and take a fix on where the ship is. And you see the compass needle is just spinning. And he said, it's the same with the binnacle. They're both just spinning.
We're at their mercy now.
Whose mercy is that?
The same mercy the captain's been chasing.
Then God help us all, Miss Morgan. God help us all.
If only he could.
Fina, do you need a coda on this, or
Do I need what?
do you need a coda on this, or are you nicely set up for if you have to miss next week?
No, I think I mean, if I have to miss next week, then I'm just insensible and fucked up, and you can channel gods through me or whatever.
Done.
Yeah, and no, I feel pretty good about how that went. I do want my St. Elmo's fire moment, only because we didn't get the whale. If we'd gotten the whale, I would have been content.
Well, there's always episode 4 when you arrive at the point.
No,
but I think we should give the episode's final words to Carlito.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to say. I'm very satisfied with how things have wrapped up, but I feel like ending on a dream sequence is a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am there for that.
Yeah. I don't know how to do this, but I kind of want you to throw something weird and supernatural at me in the dream. What speaks to me in the dream? Should I roll a thing?
No. I think you're on the deck. You're on the deck of the Tethys in the moonlight, and the sea is calm, and there are whales swimming on both sides of the ship, spouting, and their spouts go up in great arcs over the boat. And standing near the prow, dressed all in white, is your brother. He turns and smiles at you and holds out his hand as if he's welcoming you. And that's when you wake up.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you've had all the feelings yesterday. That's good.
Yeah. All the feelings. Oh, so good.
Lots of feelings.
So much many feels.
Yep.
Did it again, huh? I started this game of Alas for the Awful Sea, and we ended up playing a little Monster Hearts.
I mean, it just keeps happening.
Yeah, I have to embrace my daemon.
Your destiny.
Yeah. So I tossed in a Discord link if you need that.
Yes.
And we can talk there if you want. And in the meantime, I will see several of you in some configuration next week.
Yes.
And this was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much.
Great one. Thanks.
Yeah. Good one.
All right. I'll see you all soon.
See you on the other side.
All right.
Ciao.